Minecraft has been around for over a decade, and over the years has completely transformed several times to the point where it's almost unrecognizable as the same game today. That's why I've taken it upon myself to take you back in time and explore every version of Minecraft that has ever been released. I want to see how the world of Minecraft evolved from a simple sandbox game about building with blocks to a world sprawling with life in which you must fight for survival, explore sprawling caves and giant mountains, protect villages from raids, and adventure into unknown parallel worlds. So join me as we dig through time and uncover the history of Minecraft's development block by block. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Block by Block. In the previous video, we covered quite a bit of updates, but in this video we are covering rd-161348. As you can see right off the bat, if you're playing along, you might notice some oddities with the textures that I'm using. And that's because I've actually gone out of my way to restore the original textures, at least to the best of my ability. If you pay really close attention, you might notice, especially with this grass here, that it's a little bit muddy. That's mainly because I restored these textures by downloading them from Minecraft Wiki, and as a result, there's some compression going on that makes it really difficult to actually use the textures, but yes. So the reason I had to do this is because if you actually download this version of the game through the launcher, through the official launcher, or through any archived version of it that's currently available, it uses textures from the wrong version, which, unfortunately, I would have let slide if it wasn't for the fact that this version has a distinctly unique sapling texture. Let's get into what this new weird block is. So, the sapling is actually kind of hidden away, because normally it goes through 1 through 4 and there's nothing on 5, so you think, oh, there's 4 blocks, but this version actually has a hidden 5th block, and that is, of course, the sapling that you've already seen. But this sapling has a notably ugly texture. Notch believed this texture was pretty ugly, so he hid it away on the 6th tile with the intention of reworking the sapling texture in a later update. So, a few notes about how the sapling works. It can only be placed on dirt, and it can be placed on grass. It cannot be placed on stone. If you place it on stone, it will slowly deteriorate. And it's the same thing with wood. And it's the same thing... Oh, that one disappeared a lot faster. With cobblestone. These two will disappear over time, just like grass under darkness. They should, anyway. Yeah, there you go, that's gone. Sometimes I've noticed, like, when things are supposed to disappear, if you, like, look away and come back, they'll disappear. But yeah, this one will disappear too. I guess maybe they take longer. Let's see which... Yep, there we go. And dirt. Alright. So, the other thing... oh yeah, they'll float in the air for briefly, but if they're stuck floating in the air, they'll also disappear. They have to have dirt underneath them. I don't know if I should wait, 'cause... There we go, okay. The other big difference here is world generation. As you can see, there's a reason we generated a new world. It's because the world generation has been updated again. As you can see, these tall cliff sides are a lot more common. And this can make building in these worlds a bit more interesting, because you can find little alcoves like this that you can maybe do something with, turn this into a house, or some sort of cool build. You can kind of tunnel through these hills. And I should come out on the other side. Maybe not. Maybe this is a lot longer than I thought it was. Oh, there we go. So you can tunnel through, just like that. And that can lead to some interesting builds. So yeah, the terrain isn't so flat anymore. I wouldn't call these mountains, but they're like kind of cliff sides that are a lot more common now. Um, the update page says they're more common, so I'm gonna go out on a whim and assume that they were in world generation before, but they happen more frequently. But as you can see, they're not like so frequent that they're all over the place. But there's another cliff face over here. So back on the subject of the textures, since this is the last point where grass comes up. Like I said, you might notice that they might be a little fuzzy. And if you look extra carefully on these old textures, or on these other textures, you might notice some slight discoloring along the edges. Very slight. Like, I've gone out of my way to restore these textures as best I could, um, without affecting it too much, but you might notice like there's some more gray along the edges than normal. Because when you download a terrain.png off of the Minecraft wiki, there's some artifacting that goes on, and it really scuffs up the textures if you try to put them in the game. Like, if I loaded up a world, everything would have like a pink edge to it because it's bordering another block, and that color is bleeding through onto the texture. You should have... I mean, I can put the terrain.png up to show you what it looks like. Then you can imagine, like, the game only selects, like, the first 16 pixels for this texture, and so on. So, you can imagine that if there's some sort of artifacting going on, the colors from one block will kind of bleed into another. That pink color will also bleed over, and it's just a bit of a mess. Among other changes, the crosshair here is a lot thicker, so it's more easy to see. Doesn't really change much. And another small addition in this version, the particles. I've noted before that they are always facing the same direction, so they would appear flat from below. But now the particles are always facing you. Like I said, small details, not too significant, but it's nice nonetheless. It makes your actions feel a bit more impactful. Then if you want to do some, like, IBX Toy Cat projects, you can start flattening out your newly generated worlds, if that suits your fancy. And it leaves these weird patches of stone, like this. I could totally see, like, an IBX Toy Cat, like, I destroyed my entire Minecraft world by digging out every block. Anyway, without further ado, we're going to head out and start up our other world and see how that's doing. Alright, so we're back at our worlds. So first things first. One change I did not mention while I was covering the initial summary was, excuse me, these blocks, the block preview in the top right corner. This confuses me a bit the way it was described, but the update page on the wiki said that the block preview has been reversed. Maybe I misread it. Maybe it said revised. I don't know. But as you can see, it's a lot larger. I don't know about reversed. Again, maybe I misread it. But the blocks up there are larger than they were before. Again, not a big detail, but it's something of note. Before we get too far, so that I don't forget, I'm going to come over here and add to our little museum. This is something I want to make a habit of. And I'm going to place our new block. The sapling, of course, has to represent this build. Really, really ugly sapling. We'll get a better texture for it later. Don't you worry. But there's a sapling. So as mentioned, I wanted to put some trees inside the house, like, central area. And I can't generate trees just yet, but I can put some saplings. That's kind of, like, cool, right? Alright, so one of the requests we got in the comments recently has been to make a garden. They specifically requested a cabin and a garden, and I figured, I basically already made a house, so I should also make a garden. Seems reasonable enough. I also think it would make sense for the garden to sort of protrude around the back of the house, right? So let's go ahead and make that a reality real quick. Like that. Right. We're just gonna fill this in. So yeah, we still don't have any grass, and again, we're not gonna have grass for a long time. We're just gonna do the best what we have. So I don't think it's gonna be a very impressive garden, but it's gonna be a garden nonetheless. And this is gonna be the main focus of this episode, so this request is from Jonah Dimes. I think that's right. I assume that's right. If I ever pronounce your username wrong, this goes for anybody, please let me know, and I'll try to, pronounce it better if it comes up again. I don't want to mispronounce people's names or anything. So my last episode, I want to apologize for some of the audio issues you probably noticed. I haven't been editing with my headphones on. I know it's like a huge sin in the video editing world, but I just kind of assumed that I'd be able to hear anything by turning my volume up, and I was completely wrong, because I just put my headphones on and started editing and realized that I could hear a whole lot more than I could without the headphones, even with the volume like maxed out on my computer speakers. So that was a surprise to me, an unwanted surprise, but because that was the thing was I did a test recording to see if you could hear my fan on, and I was like, oh, you can't hear the fan on, so I'll be fine. And then when I listened to my headphones, you totally could hear the fan, so I apologize for that in the earlier videos. I don't know how long it's been going on or how bad it's been, but I want my videos to be something people can come to relax with, and that's not exactly relaxing. So I just want to apologize for that. Yeah, so a lot of YouTubers go for this like hype man route. I don't know if I commented on this yet, but I don't really want to be a hype man. I want my videos to be more down to earth, more relaxed than your typical Minecraft YouTuber. I think I'm gonna build a simple wall like this around the perimeter. Cobblestone wall. I think that's fitting, right? But yes, from now on, I'm going to try and have my fan off while I'm recording. I should note, after this update, I did not actually research the next version. But I believe after this update, we're going into another documentary-style video, and I'm going to go ahead and give a heads up that there might be a bit of a hiatus for the series as I go into the next phase, because after this update, the game goes into a very important part of development. So the next update should be pretty significant because we're jumping into a new phase of development. You'll notice updates stop using RD for Ruby Dung and start using MC for, obviously, Minecraft. And that's pretty scary. Okay. So, we've got our little area for what we want here. And I think... is it here? No. But you know what? Here's what I can do. This part can be centered better, I think. Oh. Oh yeah, I might just be able to get rid of this part of the fence altogether, right? Just leave this as like a patio. I don't know. But yeah, so we're going into a pretty serious part of development, which I think is pretty cool. Okay. So, let's start. I think I want to make like a tree in the center there. Something like that. Maybe I should make this flat. I don't know. I don't really have any plans. I don't know how many times I had to say that, but one day, you know, maybe. Maybe I'll have some sort of, like, idea of what I'm doing with anything. But we're just gonna kind of go with the flow and see what we can make out of this. I'm not sure if I want to, like, put saplings everywhere, or if I just want to leave empty spaces for more plants in the future. Anyway, if you're not aware of the phase of Minecraft that we're in right now, this era, as I mentioned before, this era was referred to in the launcher as Old Alpha, which isn't quite accurate. This is generally by the community referred to as pre-classic, because even Old Alpha is incorrect, historically speaking, because we're still not really in the phase that was considered Minecraft Alpha at any point. Maybe we should bump this all down one more row. Okay, that looks pretty nice. Something like this. Okay, no, I have an idea. This will just be a flat quarter here. Maybe I'll round it out later on, but... I'm just thinking this is, like, actually gonna be pretty ugly, because this is, not gonna lie, a pretty ugly texture. But, alright, I want to leave, like, a little island. Like that. Another couple things I want to do. I want to add more to the roof of this house. And I want to make it look less incomplete. Mainly, I want to add something to the sides where it's kind of extending outward. Oops. Oh, I should improve on that a bit. Right. Okay. And we'll add some dirt over here as well. I kind of hate the way everything is spaced because I can't center anything. I'll probably, like I said, I'm not going to leave it at saplings, but for now, saplings will have to do. Do something like this. I don't know. These are better centered. How's that? I don't know. Those wouldn't grow into trees. None of these would. But they're really just being used in the absence of actual plants. So, I guess this is like a bit of a farm. I don't know. Maybe I should put them on every tile? I've always kind of like questioned whether or not this really counts as a block. Yeah, this would be like a... Maybe I should just cover every tile. The other ones will be more decorative. This side's more productive. This is the farm side. There you go. So we got a bunch of plants over here. Some over here. So there you go. That's maybe I can like do a statue. I'm not really sure what. This statue would be, but I don't know. It's a thing. Yeah. I don't know what that's supposed to be. But sure. Another thing I want to do, I want to work on the interior. Though I didn't actually come in with any plans. One idea I wanted to incorporate was I wanted to do a checkerboard pattern in the ground here. And I don't have very many options to do that with. So we're just going to use dirt. And maybe later we'll replace it with another texture. I could use smooth stone. The problem with smooth stone is it doesn't... Smooth stone doesn't really add... Oh my gosh. Smooth stone doesn't really add... Oh, well... Maybe that does kind of work. I'll use smooth stone. Yeah, that's pretty nice, actually. So yeah, I think I'm going to replace the walkways here with stone. And I think I'm going to... Oh my gosh, I can't find anything. Oh no. This is going to be cobble. This is going to be cobble. Just going to add some patches of dirt here. Yeah, I don't think I mentioned it, but I think, I don't think saplings can be in darkness either. Just in case, I'm going to put those there, and yeah. Saplings can't be in darkness just like grass. So, okay, this guy will disappear. This guy already disappeared. This guy will disappear shortly. I don't have to worry about getting rid of it. So yeah, I'm going to replace all this ground with smooth stone. And we'll be right back. Do you guys prefer me cutting or fast forwarding? Should I even be talking this thing? Because, I'm actually kind of on the fence about both. I can see the merits of both. I'm kind of wishing I had left more space there, but... yeah, I think this is alright. Okay, so that's that. Maybe I'll come over here and, like, add little gargoyles or something. I don't know what that's supposed to be. You're gonna hear that a lot. I'm just gonna kind of make abstract things, and you can interpret for yourself what it is. Maybe it's a decoration. Maybe it's some sort of animal. Maybe it's a dinosaur. Who knows? You know what? Maybe I should, like, bevel it a little bit. Alright. So we've got the outside wall. Let's go on the interior. One thing I want to do is, I want to make it a point to highlight my changes as I go through, which I'm trying to improve on that front. I haven't really been doing it very well. I just kind of like finish and move on because I'm used to playing privately. But yeah, I should take it a point to kind of showcase what I've done before I move on, just to sort of show what it looks like. Maybe I should do this. How would this look? I think this would be... nah, I think it works better like this. But yeah. So, can I get a good view? Did I not place him here? Sorry. As always, you can always leave tips or ideas for things you want me to build in the comments, or if you ever want to see me add anything to these existing builds, that can also be included in those requests, and I'll be sure to add them. The next thing I want to do, though, is... oh yeah, that looks nice. Okay. The next thing I want to do, I also want to figure out something to do back here. Maybe I can carve out some windows here. The fireplace is kind of in the way, if I'm being honest. But, is that... I guess I don't really need a fence here. Little window hole. Sure. I'd like to do something with the interior in here, but I'm not really sure. Because, I mean, it's not like you have any furnishings, like you don't have any furnaces or crafting tables to decorate things with, so... It might be okay just to leave things barren in here for a little bit. Maybe... add some windows along here to sort of make it a bit more homely. Fortressy, even. Wait. Just... yeah, that's lined up. We're head up here. Oh, one of the things I wanted to do, actually. I wanted to round this out a bit. Really? I hate this. I hate this. This is making me wish I made the entire thing one block wider, but I don't know if there's any way I can really make this look good. And now that I called attention to it, I feel like I have to fix it in some way. I think that's the best it'll look. Thing is, if I come up here and try to center this, then that's not gonna be centered with this. Maybe that doesn't matter too much. Maybe that's okay. Alright, so now the question is, what do I want to do with this? Said before, I really don't like the way that this just kind of protrudes outward. What I think I want to do... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's try here. Oh, sorry, I need to... be very careful. There we go. it's fine because I do another one right here. You don't really realize how tall something is until you start building up to it. Oh, dang it. I don't know why I built to it like that. Guess while we're here, let's go ahead and fill in to the best of our abilities here. Okay. So I want to something like this maybe. What's that look, huh? Sure. Again, not entirely sure what that is, but it's something. And we're going to come over on the other side and do it on the other side. Maybe I'll build something up there later. Who knows? Let me know if you have any ideas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not really sure what these are supposed to be, but like I said, I just wanted to do something. I didn't like that it just kind of felt like an unfinished overhang. That's there. Okay. So that was the main focus of today. I just wanted to sort of add more stuff to the house. I'll probably continue to contribute it as we get more blocks and stuff. But there we go. The house is expanded. Maybe it looks better, maybe it looks worse. I don't know, but it seems more complete to me. One more thing I wanted to do was I wanted to add paths. So something like this. Okay. So we've got our pathways leading everywhere. And I think that's a good stopping point. The main purpose of the pathways is just I wanted to make it so that the world seemed a bit less barren. And as we add more builds and stuff, we'll expand these pathways. We might connect them up in more places. So next time, let me head back to the Over there-ish. I'm getting further away every time I respawn. No, dude. Stop. Bring me over there. Alright. So, our next version is going to add... It's not going to add any blocks to my knowledge, but it is going to once again, update world generation. To implement caves underground. So we're going to once again have to back up this world and start a new one, which is fine. But, yeah, so the next several updates are not publicly available and are currently considered lost media. I don't think there's anything significant enough between versions in order to warrant a documentary coverage, but I might still do it because it's still a pretty monumental... Excuse me. It's still a pretty monumental jump between two different, very distinct cycles of development. Essentially, the most exciting part of the next update is that we are jumping from this pre-classic era into the official classic era. I will be playing the first version of the game that was made publicly available. So it's more of a historical significance than any sort of gameplay significance, because the version is still very similar to this one, just with some bug fixes. You may have noticed that this version is a lot more stable than the previous version that I'm currently playing. This version I'm currently playing is more stable than the previous version. I noticed that. I haven't had to restart the world at all. There hasn't been any render issues that made me quit out. So that's cool. So there will be some slight changes to gameplay, but overall, yeah, so we just got several test builds that were used for internal testing, shared between some friends, which I'll go over later. I haven't decided yet whether or not the next video will be a documentary style or covering the missing versions, or if I'll just jump right into Classic 0.0.11a, which is the first version that was made publicly available. And just cover everything in that video. Because again, it's a very small update, 11a itself, so I don't think there's anything worth covering there. And not much changes between here and there. There's just a few tweaks to how certain things work and bug fixes that aren't... fixes to bugs that aren't even present in this build, you know? So that's it. So next time on Block by Block, we will take a look at Minecraft, at the transition to Minecraft Classic. See you then, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.